Hello, friends. My name is Claire, and I'm going to be doing a storage container apartment in The Sims 4. It's a little bit of a mouthful, but the story behind this build is I built it in the world that came with Eco Lifestyle, and if you didn't know, this pack stories is kind of a revitalization type pack, making everything eco-friendly, and I haven't done a storage container pack recently, and I'm still kind of experimenting with the for rent pack. I wasn't the first person to buy this pack, so some of these items are still pretty new to me, and so we are just going to be adding a little Grogu or Baby Yoda as the receptionist for this apartment, and so we are just going to be adding a computer. Obviously, not really functional. Your Sims can't like sit on the computer because of the Baby Yoda statue, and so we are just going to be adding some decorations. I feel like that little like coin jar, the papers is just like everybody's rent, and I do keep a sign right here at the front. I do change it for a sign from the base game, and I just couldn't find the right sign I was looking for, so I was just kind of using that sign from the Dine Out pack as a little bit of like a placeholder. And so now you're just in a utility room. This is kind of like the common area of the apartment. There is also a like back area grilling, and then there is an upper terrace type of area, and so I'm just currently trying to figure out a focal point for when your Sims search enter the room. They would see that flower, but I do actually move the sign of the apartment back up there, and so we are just going to be adding some lights to the little like front of the desk just to brighten it up a little bit, and we are just now going to be adding those flowers on this wall. I still wanted to keep it kind of earthy in here, and so we are just going to be adding a rug, and I feel like this front area turned out pretty nice. This is like the first like front room area I've done, and I'm pretty proud of it. And I feel like the Baby Yoda statues kind of came from seeing other people do like apartments like this, but and or like gyms or like community spaces where there needs to be like a receptionist, and I couldn't find like a gnome statue. That's usually what I've seen done, and so I did end up going for that Baby Yoda statue. And so now we are in the first apartment. I'm only going to be designing 2 apartments because I was feeling a little bit overwhelmed, and I didn't want to do all 5 apartments just because that was kind of overwhelming me. And so there are 3 small apartments for you to design yourself if you want to play in this apartment. You can find all the information down in the description. I feel like sometimes simmers want to play with like their extended sim family, and I feel like this could be a great lot for that. They are all like studio apartment type of floor plans, but maybe if you have a bunch of young adult sims, or if you have a sim that you want to start dating your sim, they could both be in the same apartment complex, and then they could maybe start a romantic relationship and whatever. So I did try to keep the apartments to have different like color schemes in here, especially in the kitchen, although the kitchen countertops do stay the same in both of the apartments I show you. And so we are just going to be adding a desk spot and a computer, both super useful items in this game, and we are just going to be adding some books. I did try to kind of keep for like a blue theme throughout this apartment, just not like super blue, just kind of like here pops here and there. And so we are just going to be adding a little bathroom now. I tried to keep this bathroom pretty simple. I originally had like a floor plan in my mind for this bathroom, but then once I started placing down these items, I quickly realized like, okay, this original floor plan won't really work how I intended it to, and so I do kind of do a little bit of switching around here and there, and so we're just going to be adding all the essentials into this bathroom, and now we are just going to be adding a little laundry hamper. I didn't add like a laundry shared like community laundry room space, but I was thinking about that. So if I do another apartment similar to this, would you be interested in seeing a like community laundry room area like in basement or something? I feel like that'd be kind of fun to do. And if you have any like ideas for families or like an occupation I could build a house or an apartment for, I would love to see those comments down below. I'm always open to ideas, and so we are now just in the bathroom or the bedroom to this first apartment, and I tried to keep things pretty simple and minimalistic. I didn't really have a occupation or like style for this bedroom. I did think that maybe the sim could have moved from San Francisco, or not San Francisco, San Francisco, the world that came with city living, and they kind of like, hey, all this cool stuff has happened in like the city living world. I need to help revitalize this town in this area, and so they kind of have some like motivation from that, and I did try to bring some of that like city inspired items into this room with the like posters from those city events, and now we're just gonna be adding curtains. I didn't really have like an occupation for this sim, just like motivation for this area to get revitalized, and so now we are on the second level of the apartment complex, and I was trying to figure out like bench seating or like a community activity to do out here, and I do end up putting benches and a Don't Wake the Llama game, but now we are in the second apartment I'm going to be showing you. This is the bigger apartment. I was kind of treating this area or this unit as a penthouse type of situation, and so we are just going to be adding some green couches. I felt like the green couches looked nice because everything else is kind of white and beige, and I really like how the green pops. This is the only apartment with a like container shipping doors, and I did try to make it obvious that this is the front door by adding a little welcome mat into the front of the house, and so now we are just in the kitchen, and I feel like it would look cool to have the kitchen like along this wall, but I ended up switching it to the wall to the left, and I feel like it just kind of makes it a little bit more cozy and a little bit more hidden away. I don't know about you, but in real life, I don't really like seeing the kitchen the first thing when I walk into a house. I like being welcomed in and then seeing the kitchen. And so we are just going to be adding some brick. I felt like the brick was kind of fun for a backsplash, and so we are just going to be adding the same color of cabinets from the downstairs apartment, and so we're just going to be adjusting the windows to fit the cabinets because I was originally planning on just having it along that like wall where it was originally, but I feel like this makes it a little bit more unique because all the other apartments have just kind of like a line of the kitchen, or what's the I don't remember no the proper term, but it's just like a very kitchenette style back of kitchen, and so We are now in the dining room space. This is like the first thing you would see if your Sims walk into the room. And I add some rugs from the For Rent pack, and I really like how it really brought that green from the couches and it's kind of brought it throughout the space. And so now we are just going to be adding some kitchen decorations. I did try to keep it very minimum, just so your Sims could cook together if they wanted to. Each unit can sleep two Sims, and so we are just going to be going and adding a little like drop zone right here with that bunny area statue of the mirror, and going to be adding some wall decorations. I really like this like tapestry looking item that came with the For Rent pack, and so we are just going to be adding some more pictures. I didn't want to like overly decorate and overly like civilize this or both of these units just because I know that maybe you wouldn't want green couches and a green rug, and so I tried to keep everything kind of simple for that reasoning, and so we are just going to be adding a lamp. I was originally going to add a lamp behind the couch, but I end up going with a plant, but I couldn't find like the right plant. I wanted to go for that like first big leafy one, but it was coming through the walls, and I wish that wouldn't happen. It would like obviously look a lot better if it could be just visible when you like go onto the other side of the wall, but we are on the second level, and so this is the bath or the bedroom, and it does have a connecting bathroom, so your Sims will have to climb up a ladder to get to this second level of the apartment, or more so the penthouse. And I do add a walk-in closet into this space, and I was originally going to like do all the shelving myself, but instead I just add that like closet system from the Get Together pack. I feel like this is a really cool item. This is kind of like the first like walk-in closet we really had, and so we are just going to be adding some decorations on to the little side tables, and again try and keep it very like clean, not like too cluttered, but obviously a sim or somebody else would be living here, and so I wanted to use this bed from the For Rent pack. I really like this bed. It reminds me of my bed I have in real life, and so we are just going to be adding some plants. I wasn't like planning on using the Get Together pack until I put in that like big closet unit, and so I wanted to make sure that that closet unit item wasn't the only item from that pack, and so we are just going to be adding a sink into the ensuite. I try to keep all the bathrooms kind of cohesive with one another, and so we are just going to be going and adding a mirror. I did think it was fun to add some of that like corrugated metal out here or inside of the house, and so I felt like that just kind of made it look a little bit more like rustic and like a storage container, and so we are just going to be doing a little bit of rearranging in this bathroom, and then we are going to be going into the hallway and into the private balcony area. And so we are just going to be adding little shampoo bottles and going to be adding a laundry basket. But I do switch that laundry basket out for a one from the high school years pack. I forgot the name for a second. Don't blame me. There's a lot of high school years pack, or a lot of packs out there, and so I wanted this area to be a kind of like office space in a way, just kind of a spot to like do computer work, maybe work from home. It's a very like cozy spot, and I feel like it fits that space well. And now we are on the private balcony. I was thinking about the Sims 4 pack release that came with this, and I remember seeing like a greenhouse roof type of situation, and I kind of wanted to emulate that into this build, and so I have a little like like balcony area, and so we are just going to be adding some loungers and going to be adding just a few pictures inside. I feel like that wall was supposed to be empty and it kept bothering me, so I had to go back and fix it. But I was thinking that this house could possibly be for an artist or just a hobby, and so I added a little like painting station out here, and there's that picture I just like needed to add, but I wanted to make sure like the other spaces got some love, and so I got the wall like painting system up there, and we are getting close to the end of the video, so if you enjoyed it, please make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. I post new videos every single Tuesday, and I hope to see you all next week for another Sims 4 video. Bye!